kind of get the idea that something might be wrong because it's all loosey-goosey. You can see up there where it's broken. It's a different color. It's not focusing on that area. You can see up there, it just snapped off. I'm going to be replacing this shift linkage for the transfer case today so that I'll be able to shift from inside the truck once again. All right, so this looks like it should be pretty simple to change out, but we'll see. It's got one bolt here that the shifter rod goes through, so this needs to be at least loosened, if not removed. And it's got a big bolt that bolts it up to the transfer case. And then there's like a little clip here that needs to be pried off for the linkage. Said it was bolted to the transfer case. It's bolted to the transmission. So I'm gonna remove the bolt that holds it onto the shifting rod. I've got a 13mm socket for this. Alright, I'm going to try twisting the shifter from above to wiggle it out of its place. So eventually, after prying this open a little bit, then pulling it up and banging it on the bottom of the floor here, it did come out. So now I think I'm going to go ahead and get it off of this linkage here. You can see it right there. I'm not really sure what that is. I'm gonna try just prying on the arm and just prying it off. Kind of a tight squeeze up in there. There's a bunch of crud on the other side. There's 4 bolts that hold this shifter boot on. I was thinking I could take that off, but there's a bunch of crud in all those holes, and so that would take a while to clean all that out and then get the screws that hold that on off for me. But that might be the easier way if it's nice and clean up there for you. Otherwise, got a 1-inch socket on this and a 3/8 socket, so it's a little bit shorter. Got the shortest 3/8 socket in 1-inch that I have, and I was able to get an extension because the 1/2-inch wrench wouldn't fit in there, but I get an extension and then the 3/8 wrench in there, and then I got a cheater bar on this to break it loose, so I'm working that out now. All right, so I got this old piece out of here. This wasn't very fun. because this bracket piece is stuck to the bolt. It's like froze together, so it spun with the whole thing, so it would get caught on the bottom of the truck, and then I'd have to get a breaker bar to get it past that point, and then I had to use a crescent wrench, and I couldn't get the crescent wrench on it when it was sticking straight down, so I had to use a pipe wrench or whatever to get it past this point, and then I could get back on it, and then I had to do that about at least 10 times. And of course out here in the cold it's no fun either, but I did get this off, so we're done with this. This new piece here, this new one is 15/16, so it should be a bit easier with because I've got a 15/16 socket in 3/8, so those bushings go in there, and then you slide this new bolt in there, so we're ready to start throwing this on. So I've got that big bolt started pretty much most of the way, so now I'm gonna get these other things kind of lined up and into place. So the shifter arm, I'm going to get it fed through here. All right, I'm gonna go up top and try to wiggle it through. I was able to very easily wiggle it from up top, and it just slid right into place. So I've just got that bolt and that bigger bolt up there to tighten up. And then I'm going to hopefully be able to use these pliers and squeeze this linkage back into place. There we go. So I was able to squeeze it back over there with that. So now we're basically done. I'm not going to videotape me tightening those up, but I think I'm going to have to get a wrench to tighten this end back up. This other end just fits into this pocket that holds it. So as long as that part is pushed all the way in, you don't need to hold that end. So here we go. There we go.